Hello, inquiring viewers, and welcome to this edition of Healthy Living on Supreme Master Television. Today we'll examine the gluten-free vegan diet as a way to enhance the health and well-being of those allergic to the composite protein known as gluten, contained in wheat, rye, barley, and other grains. Gluten is a common ingredient in many foods, such as bread, cereal, and pasta, and people who don't digest it well may display allergy-like symptoms but be unaware of what's causing their condition. Today we'll explore the nature of gluten alternatives to gluten-containing foods and the warning signs that can help you determine if you're one of the millions of people who are gluten intolerant. To begin, gluten is not a protein as such, but rather a protein composite consisting of the elastic protein glutenin combined with gliadin in wheat, secalin in rye, and hordein in barley, all of which are members of the protein family prolamin. Gluten is also contained in the grains kamut and spelt. Gluten is present in the endosperm, or middle portion, of all these grains. Being water insoluble, it possesses elasticity and a glue-like ability to hold food products together and give them a smooth or chewy texture. Thus, besides its obvious role as a component of grain-based foods, such as baked goods and cereals, it's become highly popular as an additive among manufacturers of other types of foods and even beverages. For those with a gluten intolerance or the more serious celiac disease, this seemingly harmless substance initiates a response in the small intestine whereby the immune system forms antibodies to neutralize the gluten, thinking it's an invading pathogen. In the process of resisting the gluten, the antibodies also attack the tiny finger-like appendages that line the small intestine called villi, causing symptoms and discomfort in the gastrointestinal tract and elsewhere in the body. In individuals with celiac disease, gluten consumption gradually damages the intestines, preventing the absorption of vitamins and minerals and setting off a host of related health issues, which may include fatigue and skin problems. Actual symptoms vary, however, and some people with gluten intolerance or celiac disease experience no symptoms at all. Approximately 250 signs of gluten intolerance have been identified, including gas, alternating periods of diarrhea and constipation, abdominal pain and bloating, weight loss, anemia, distended abdomen, muscle, bone, and joint pain, tingling sensations, skin rashes, vitamin and mineral deficiencies, delayed growth in children, poor health in infants, tooth abnormalities, and migraine headaches. Wheat is among the top 8 allergens that must be listed when present in foods produced in the United States. And although medical tests are available, it's possible to find out if you have a gluten allergy simply by avoiding wheat for a while and then seeing if you feel better. Of course, foods containing the other grains mentioned earlier should also be avoided. In addition, experts in the U.S. believe that oats should be on the list of prohibited foods due to the possibility of cross-contamination during the growing and processing stages. If after a medical exam or thorough personal experimentation you find you have celiac disease or gluten intolerance, you should eliminate all foods and drinks containing the following: barley, bulgur, durum, farina, gram flour, kamut, also known as Khorasan wheat, matzo meal, rye, semolina, spelt, a form of wheat, triticale, wheat. These ingredients are typically found in the following food items, apart from specially made gluten-free varieties: bagels, biscuits, bread, breadcrumbs, cake, cereal, croissants, cookies, crackers, croutons, donuts, dumplings, flour tortillas, fried vegetables, graham crackers, macaroni, Melba toast, muffins, noodles, pancakes, pasta, pastries, pie crusts, pizza crust, pretzels, rolls, spaghetti, tabbouleh, waffles. This list, of course, represents only a small sampling of the many gluten-containing products on the market today. So it may seem like a daunting task to completely eliminate gluten from your diet. Fortunately, the job is being made easier each day by the increasing number of gluten-free products such as bread and pasta that are becoming available in natural foods markets, health food stores, specialty grocery stores, and even conventional supermarkets. With time, patience, and creativity, you'll find that the ever-growing array of vegan foods produced and advertised as gluten-free make living without gluten relatively easy. In fact, according to the global marketing and advertising research firm, the Nielsen Company, worldwide sales of gluten-free products increased 16% in 2010. If you can't find gluten-free items in your area, you can check with a support group for people with gluten intolerance or celiac disease, or shop online stores which carry such items. Some vegan gluten-free options include the following grains and starches: amaranth, arrowroot, buckwheat, cornmeal, rice, soy, corn, potato, and bean flours, hominy grits, polenta, pure corn tortillas, quinoa, rice, tapioca. With any food you plan to purchase, however, remember to check if it's labeled gluten-free or call the manufacturer to verify if there's gluten or not. Also, examine the labels when buying amaranth, buckwheat, and quinoa because these grains may be contaminated with gluten during processing. Besides those with celiac disease and pronounced cases of gluten intolerance, many other people are more mildly gluten sensitive and can also benefit from eliminating gluten from their diets. In fact, experts now believe that celiac disease represents only the extreme end of a broad continuum of gluten intolerance that includes millions of individuals with less severe but nonetheless problematic reactions to the substance. One such person is 36-year-old Sarah Cooper of Melbourne, Australia, who was a new mother in her mid-20s, busily managing her family and career as an electrical engineer when her life suddenly came to a halt. She lost all her energy, developed acne, and began experiencing bloating, diarrhea, cramping, and constipation. Her doctors, thinking her diet was lacking in certain nutrients, put her on an array of supplements, but nothing seemed to help. It was all I could do to go to work, Ms. Cooper said. Then, after years of unsuccessful attempts at treatment, Ms. Cooper saw a physician who suspected she might have celiac disease, which can develop at any age. After being tested, Ms. Cooper was found to be negative for celiac disease, but her physician suggested she try a gluten-free diet anyway. Then, as Ms. Cooper says, within a week of eliminating gluten, I started to feel markedly better. It wasn't a gradual feeling better. It was almost a crossing the street kind of thing. That was in 2001. The general practitioner who treated Ms. Cooper was ahead of his time because most physicians have only recently begun to understand that some people who don't have celiac disease may have a related condition known as gluten sensitivity. While celiac disease affects about 1% of the U.S. population, researchers estimate that as many as 10% may be gluten sensitive and would benefit from diets free of or low in gluten. In fact, according to Daniel Leffler, MD, an assistant professor of medicine at Harvard Medical School, USA, and a gastroenterologist at Boston's Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, gluten is fairly indigestible in all people. There's probably some kind of gluten intolerance in all of us. Dr. Leffler adds that probably half of the approximately 60 million people in the U.S. who suffer from irritable bowel syndrome, or IBS, are sensitive to gluten. Growing public awareness of gluten sensitivity has led some people with intestinal issues who have tested negative for celiac disease to take matters into their own hands and try a gluten-free diet, even though it may be challenging to follow. But help in beginning a new gluten-free vegan life can be readily found in books such as Dr. Carol Fenster's 125 Gluten-Free Vegetarian Recipes, a cookbook for people who want to combine gluten-free living with a plant-based diet that includes fruits, vegetables, whole grains, seeds, nuts, beans, and legumes. As Dr. Fenster says, I specialize in gluten-free, allergen-free, and vegetarian-vegan cooking. I believe that eating food is the most profound thing we do to our bodies each and every day. So my mission is to help everyone eat well, and I love my job. If you experience any of the symptoms discussed on today's program, you can abstain from gluten-containing foods and beverages for a week or so and see if you feel better, or else check with your physician. You will find greater inner peace and help to heal both yourself and the world by switching to a healthy, vegan, gluten-free diet. In the words of Supreme Master Ching Hai, we must always be open and accepting. Then we will find our life is terrific, is completely in harmony and beautiful, and is a blessing every day, 24 hours. Thank you for being with us on this week's episode of Healthy Living. May we all remain forever healthy and happy by making wise, plant-based dietary choices for ourselves and our animal companions.
For more details, please see www.suprememastertv.com/HL.